Namaste. Today, I would like to talk about the perfect asana. But before I do, I'd like to share a story with you. When I ask someone if they're interested in joining me for an asana session, and they're not, I often get a response that goes something like this. I'm not flexible enough. I'm too old. I'm not fit enough. Or I have an injury. My knee hurts. My ankle hurts. And oftentimes I will hear, I'm too self-conscious to do yoga with a group of people. And so I've thought to myself, what's the root cause of these responses? Why do people feel this way? And I would like to share some of my thoughts here about what I think is behind some of this reasoning. I believe that it is because, in fact, as human beings, we strive to achieve what we consider to be the perfect asana, or the perfect posture. And the reason for this, I think, is if you look at how yoga is represented, especially in the Western world, if you look at images of yoga on YouTube, Facebook, and the internet, we often see it advertised with people in these really intricate poses, back bends and twists, balancing poses. And all of these poses, of course, are done to what we consider perfection, in perfect alignment, with perfect back bends, done by people with what we consider to have perfect bodies. And so we look at these images and we think to ourselves, well, there's no way I can do that. That's not me. And the reason that we do this is because our nature is to look at these people, at these yogis, and compare ourselves to them. Rather than looking at them for inspiration, we look at them for comparison. And we say, well, I could never do this pose in this exact way, so yoga is not for me. I believe that this is a false narrative. I believe very strongly that this is a false narrative. Now, I'm not suggesting that we do not look at these people, at these wonderful yogis, for inspiration. But what I am suggesting is that we do not compare ourselves to them. I have a teacher who once said to me, to a group of people, actually, for every yogi, there is an asana variation. And indeed, Patanjali, who wrote the Yoga Sutras over 2,000 years ago, famously said, the physical postures should be steady and comfortable, meaning they should be strong. They should feel strong to you, but they need to be comfortable. The comfort in the yoga asana is where we find the joy in yoga. And in fact, this idea of steady and comfortable is embodied in a philosophy and a term called sthira. Sthira in yoga is the ability to hold a posture in a steady and comfortable state. Think of a blade of grass that flows with the wind. It is steady, it is strong, but it's comfortable. It allows itself to move with the wind in the direction that the wind is blowing, and our bodies are much the same way. Now, here's the rub. If you take this concept of sthira, of a posture being steady and comfortable, and you apply that to your own body, then we have to consider that everybody's physical body is different. So, for example, I personally have an artificial disc in my back, which means that certain back bends and forward bends are difficult for me. You might have arthritis. You might have some other condition, high blood pressure or something that is specific to your body, a knee problem, an ankle problem, a bone compression, whatever the case may be. And so how can we emulate someone who doesn't have the same conditions and the same body that we have? How can we do the posture, any posture, in exactly the same way as they can? And the answer is that you cannot. Not only can you not, but you shouldn't strive to do that. You could, in fact, be putting yourself at risk of injury by doing so. There is no joy in comparing ourselves to others. There will always be people that can do things in what we perceive to be as better than us. There is no joy in comparing ourselves to others. There's only frustration and ego. Instead, what we should strive to achieve are postures that are comfortable, that make our bodies and our minds sing with joy and tranquility. That is the essence of yoga. It doesn't matter that I cannot touch my toes, but the person next to me can. None of that matters. Once we stop thinking in these terms and we simply allow ourselves to exist within these postures, we find happiness within. Peace, tranquility, all of these things suddenly become possible. And eventually, we will surprise ourselves at the things that we can do. Not only that, but I believe that once we stop comparing ourselves to others and we start to find inspiration in others instead, that we ourselves become a source of inspiration for others. People can see that and they can feel that, and they're attracted to that. And so it's by manifesting and embodying your true self that you can, in fact, find the joy and tranquility that is yoga. So then we ask ourselves, what is the perfect asana posture for you? Whether you're doing Tadasana, a mountain pose, a Padahastasana, a forward bend, a Virabhadrasana, a warrior pose. What is the perfect variation of that asana for you? And the answer is simple. It's the variation in which you can achieve sthira, that sense of strength and flexibility and comfort. And with that comes joy and peace and tranquility. With this, we allow our minds to open to the wonders that are inside of us. And we can experience the full dynamic of our breath, of our yoga practice, and indeed of our bodies. So I hope that this video serves as an inspiration for you, as an inspiration for you to try something new and exciting. Maybe that thing is yoga. Maybe that thing is not yoga. Maybe you find inspiration in mountain biking or surfing or meditation, whatever that thing is. I hope that this video serves as an inspiration for you to fully embrace that. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, or follow. And as always, thank you for listening, and namaste.